couple ground rules about the Q&A. This isn't about your stories of failure. This is your opportunity to dig a little bit deeper with these guys. So just raise your hand if you want me to come to you with the mic, and I will come see you. Oh, you shy. No one ever? There we go. All right.
All right, so how much of your response to failure do you put down to your own personality versus intentionally creating a different mindset around failure and mistakes?
Who's the question to? To everybody?
I think all of you. Let's go down the panel.
So the question, just to repeat, was how much of it do you put on yourself? And sorry, just clarifying.
How much do you put down to just your natural personality versus cultivating a different attitude towards failure and mistakes?
So I'm Asian. My parents beat me if I didn't get 100% on that. So basically, I was raised that if you fuck up, you're no longer part of this family. So I had to kind of do this thing. And to be an entrepreneur, you have to fuck up. If you don't screw up, you don't learn anything. Either you win or you learn. That's basically it. And so I'm winning all the time and learning nothing, and then I'm stupid, right? And I don't grow, right? That's how I lost the $28 million. So do I have to separate myself from, yeah. If I didn't, there was no 5-year-old stickers. I didn't get no damn stickers. I got food, yeah.
Thank you. I don't have an Asian family, and I think I'm grateful. I think what happens is when you get in a bad place, I think it becomes difficult to remain objective. So even if you are generally someone with self-confidence and you have a reasonable amount of belief in yourself and what you can accomplish, I think that it's very easy to not see that when you are constantly challenged and when you are in a place where you don't belong. And that's when you lose your objectivity, and that's when it's great to have a wife, a partner that says, let me look at that differently. Does that make sense? Thank you.
You're remembering that I'm one who willingly straps myself to a bike, clips in, and throws myself down a mountain, right? So I would say I'm willing to fail. And I can't actually answer that objectively because I was selected to be one of the next top Paris figure skaters at the age of 7. So sport has always kind of been that mindset, falling on the ice really hurts. So, but having gone through what I did, it really does become mindset. It becomes mind over matter. And it's when you're used to dealing with failure, but it hits you so hard that it knocks you sideways, or in my case, emotionless, it really does come back to, okay, so where is my mindset not working for me? What do I need to believe? And I think the most important thing is checking your stories. Elise and I have a thing that we say to each other sometimes where, you'll make a statement of, oh, this sucks for whatever reason, or you tell yourself a story because that you've made up based on your interpretation. It actually comes back to Brené Brown's work of checking the story, and Elise will say to me, or I'll say to her, so how's that story working for you? So that's something we actually do, and I have to be careful because sometimes I use it the wrong way. But, yeah, I check myself. How's that story working for me?
Thank you so much. All right, coming over to you. Look, I'm getting my steps in. Did you bring me a gold star?
So usually when you're on your downward trend, there's one significant event or time when you finally say, this is enough. What was it for each of you that started you on that direction back up?
Sure. This gets a little deeper. When I lost the giant pile of money, it wasn't all my money. right? We raised money from other people to support other projects. And the problem with that was, a lot of it from the beginning came from family, came from friends, came from everybody that I knew. So, when I have to go face up to my friends and family and tell them, hey guys, I just lost $28 million of all your money. All of a sudden, Thanksgiving was awkward, Christmas was awkward, everything became really awkward. And you were asking what the turning point was, right? Like I was standing on a balcony of a penthouse when I found out that the dudes took off for the money. I started literally looking off of the balcony thinking, the sidewalk looks pretty good right about now. People have jumped off the buildings for less money than $28 million. And I seriously considered doing it. But around the same time frame, my wife and I would have been trying it had been 13 months to have a kid. And that's when I found out she was pregnant. So not only did we lose every dollar we had, and then some, and then every dollar all our friends had, we also had a baby. So the funny thing is that put me through a little bit of hell because, we never had to fight about money, and now I have to figure out how the hell I'm going to afford diapers. Oh my God, diapers are expensive. And then, and that's what turned me around. So basically my unborn kid saved my life. So that was my turnaround. Just took that.
The turnaround point was a question from Elise, hands down. Do I have to worry about you? I used the word offing. It's actually Aussie, it's topping yourself. But I didn't want to waste my 7 minutes on Aussie translation. But it was that reality of, I might be in a hole myself right now, but I'm not the only one I'm affecting. And, my family and my wife are my world. And when I realized, when I saw the look on her face, it was like, okay, time to put your big girl pants on and sort this shit out. And I knew that I needed help, and I was willing to do whatever it took. So that was mine.
I was, so I'm employed and we were in a meeting and I saw my boss shaming someone. And that was, okay, you know what? If I'm not part of the solution, I'm part of the problem. I'm the hell out of here. Like it was very quick, and so I knew I needed to get out. That was my turnaround point. But by then I didn't know how I was getting out, but I knew I needed to get out.
Awesome. All right, I'm coming over to you. Right around the back here.
Hi, thank you so much, Karen Zadinga. You later. Thank you all for your stories and the real connection there. The thing that I am wondering about is shame. It's one thing to say you're depressed or feeling like you shouldn't have taken that job or, damn it, I lost $28 million. It's another thing to deal with the shame of it. How did you guys do that?
Okay, let's go Brene Brown here. So shame is I am bad, and guilt is I did something bad. So it's about, and if you are interested in the concept of shame and vulnerability and all of the stuff the wonderful things that Brene Brown talks about, there's the square squad. And the concept of the square squad is having people in your life that you trust. You trust them, they love you, and they give you the goods. So they will talk to you with love and in an objective manner. So it's about having conversations with such a wonderful individual and letting it in and helping them let you understand that that was a bad decision, but that doesn't make you a bad person, which is really a significant distinction. And so when you can stop confusing the two and eventually you're on your way, right? I mean, it's not as easy as a couple of conversations, but when you can really go there and accept that. The other element of that is self-compassion, you know, and if you, when we're in a bad place, and when you do stuff that we're not proud of, if you think about how we speak to ourselves, we would never talk to someone we love the way we talk to ourselves, right? So it's about giving your head a shake and having the courage or the strength of saying, I'm not being good to myself, and how helpful am I when I speak that way? Thank you.
Like, so how I think for me in the story that I told, it was just simply about generating the action to move forward. And when I think about it in context of how I deal with most negative emotions, is I deal with it in forward motion. I will literally, whether it's shame, whether it's fear, whether it's sadness, my go-to for me is always go and do the thing that burns through it the fastest. So I will go run, I will go ride, and it's always no, I'm gonna go by myself today because I know my objective is just to go run to the point where I feel like I'm going to vomit or fall over, or I push myself until I cry. Because for me, at a young age, as a young figure skater who was being groomed to not have you step on that ice and you perform perfect. Like, there is no such thing as a 9.5. It is a 10. And so I think what I'm trying to say is we all deal with it differently, and knowing how you deal with it, I think, is the best medicine. And so for me, I deal with it through pushing myself to the point where I can access the emotion.
I go for coffee.
All right, so back to the Asian kid. There's only two ways to learn: shame and pain, apparently. So that being said, right? I mean, dealing with the shame part, you know, sometimes you just have to realize that you have to screw up to move forward, right? Now that I have kids, I know what my parents went through raising me. I was just a hellish child, right? You know, don't touch the stove, don't touch the stove, don't touch the stove. Fine, you know what? Fucking lick it, see what happens. And so that's kind of how I had to learn business. Remember, I came from doing a job, you know, being a computer programmer, working for somebody else, and I had to go, you know, do my own thing, learn all this stuff. And so shame became a constant daily practice, right? It's like, oh my God, like, I screwed that up really good. And, you know, that whole perfection mindset, right? But it's funny, I ended up writing a blog post called "Perfection is the Lowest Standard." Right? And this is coming from a programmer, where you have to be perfect. Just to shine some light onto what I was doing. At the age of 19, I was doing tech support for NASA, the Pentagon, and the Department of Defense. If I fucked up, the astronauts wouldn't know how much oxygen was on the stupid spaceship, right? When I was tech support for like the bank, every hour that the bank is down, they lose $18 million. So how smart are you, kid? Let's see. Right, so you know, that whole shame factor came in almost on a daily basis, right? Almost on an hourly basis. If you don't fix shit, everybody dies. So, oh, that's good. Okay, so that whole shame factor, and then, you know, being the hot guy who could do that stuff. I can solve for NASA. Look how smart I am. To, oh my God, I just lost every single dollar I had, and then every single dollar my family had. Right, so yeah, that shame. You can't put things into perspective of perfection. Everything is not good or bad, right? Everything is shades of gray, right? And if you can change it from good and bad to effective and ineffective, right? Nothing is perfect, nothing is terrible. It's either effective or it's ineffective. And if you can just keep slowly edging your way from ineffective to effective, you're gonna learn. Right, and that's that shaming process, right? Where you're like, yeah, I screwed that up pretty good. Take the steps to get from ineffective to effective, and you just live through the shame until you fix it.
Awesome. Oh, thanks so much, guys. All right, so please join me in thanking Carly, Christine, and Earl one more time. I thank you for sharing your failure. Congratulations, you fucked up.